Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Learn with Ravi. In our previous video, we have seen the concepts of partnerships. Thank you all for the like, shares and comments. In this video, we will see the various models and the problems asked in different competitive exams. So let's get started.
The first question. Shankar, Srinivas and Manohar start a business with rupees 40,000, 30,000 and 70,000 respectively. Srinivas and Manohar leaves after 5 months and 7 months respectively. Who gets the largest share of profit at the end of the year? Now in the question, it is clear that we have Shankar, Srinivas, Manohar involved and they have put in 40, 30 and 70,000 rupees. So we observe that the amount of money invested is not the same and people did not stay till the end of the year. So we have a problem of unequal investments and unequal time period. So in this case, we take the ratio of investment first and then we take the ratio of time. So the ratio of investment is 4 is to 3 is to 7 and the ratio of time is 12 is to 5 is to 7. Now the profit ratio would be their product, that is 48 is to 15 is to 49. Now it is clear that at the end of the year, Shankar gets 48 parts, Srinivas gets 15 parts and Manohar gets 49 parts. Now the question is who gets the largest share of the profit. So from the content it is clear that at the end of the year Manohar gets the largest profit share. So see the question, how it is being solved in detail. We began with taking the ratio of investment and then we went to the ratio of the time periods and then we moved out calculating the product of time and money and then we got the profit ratio where we concluded. Fine. Now going ahead. Now in this question we have Shalini and Prasanna investing 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs respectively in a business. But Prasanna joined some months later to Shalini. So from this line it is clear that from the beginning Shalini was there in the business and Prasanna joined her late. So at the end of, if they share the profit in the ratio of 4 is to 5 at the end of the year, then after how many months did Prasanna join the business? Now let us take the ratio of the investments first, that is 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs, that is 2 is to 3. And we do not know the time spent by Prasanna, so take it as x. So time of Shalini is 12, time of Prasanna is x. X indicates the number of months spent by Prasanna in the business. So taking the ratios and minimizing them, investment ratio would be 2 is to 3, time ratio would be 12 is to x. The product is 2 into 12 is 3 is to x, that would be nothing but 6 is to x. So 2 into 12 is 24, 3x or 24 upon 3x is same as 4 upon 5. How we got 4 upon 5? He gave us that they shared the profit in the ratio of 4 is to 5, isn't it? So in that case, we compare the calculated profit ratio with the given profit ratio and then we find x. So you find that the value of x is 10 months. Now what does x indicate? X indicates that the amount of time spent by that lady Prasanna in the business. So the question is, after how many months did Prasanna join? If Prasanna is there for 10 months, we know that in partnership the maximum time is only 12 months. So as Prasanna is there for 10 months, she joined after 12 minus 10, 2 months. Just as simple as that. So see what is being done. Started with finding the investment ratio, then time ratio, then we found the profit ratio. We compared the obtained profit ratio with the given ratio and got the answer. Is it fine? So, moving ahead. We have a question that Srinivas and Raju renting a pasture for 8 months. Srinivas puts in 60 cows for 5 months. How many cows can Raju put in for the remaining 3 months if he pays 1.5 times as much rent as Srinivas? Now in the question of partnership, please keep this point in mind. Always follow the sequence of the people involved. We began with Srinivas and Raju, so till the end of the problem stick to the sequence of Srinivas Raju only. So Srinivas and Raju should share the rent in proportion to their time usage and also based on the number of cows put in, isn't it? Now The ratio of cows, Srinivas has put in 60 cows. We do not know how many cows have been put in by Raju, so take it as X. But is 60 is to X. It is given that Srinivas has put in 5 months and 3 months is for Raju, so it is 5 is to 3. So 60 is to X is the cow ratio, 5 is to 3 is the time ratio. Now the rent ratio here is the product of cow and time ratios, that would be 60 into 5 is to x into 3 or 3 into x, that would be 100 is to x. So the rent ratio what we got is 100 is to x. But what is given to us? He gave us that the rent paid by Raju is 1.5 times the rent paid by Srinivas. So the rent paid by Raju is 3 by 2 times the Srinivas rent. Now converting this in ratios of Srinivas and Raju, so Srinivas is to Raju will be 2 is to 3. There should be no complications in that. In the previous step, cross multiply, you get 2 times Raju is 3 times Srinivas. So Srinivas upon Raju will be 2 upon 3. So that becomes 2 is to 3. Now compare this rent ratio to the obtained Srinivas rent to Raju rent. So 100 is to x is same as 2 is to 3. Now find x. So x would be 150. It means that Raju can put in 150 cows for 3 months because he is paying 1.5 times rent of Srinivas. Is it fine? So going ahead, you observe that Raman began a business with rupees 50,000 and he was later joined by Manisha with rupees 40,000. Now at the end of the year, Manisha got 1/4 of the total profit. 1/4 of the total profit. Now the question is, when did Manisha join? So first step is by default we calculate the investment ratio. You got 5 is to 4 and time ratio is 12 is to x. Why it is 12 is to x? We do not know the time spent by Manisha in the business, so take it as x months. So from the beginning you find Raman, so take it as 12. So 12 is to x, that is, so 5 is to 4 is the investment ratio, 12 is to x is the time ratio. Now the profit ratio would be the product of time and money. So you get it as 12 into 5 is to x into 4. That would be 15 is to x. Clear? Now what is given to us? It is given to us that Manisha's profit is 1/4 of the total profit. Now use your sense. We have 2 people involved and out of 2, one gets 1/4. So common sense speaks that the other gets 3/4. Isn't it? So when you take the profits ratio of Raman to Manisha, that would be 3/4 to 1/4, that would be 3 is to 1. Now compare this 3 is to 1 to the obtained profit ratio and we get the value of x as 5. Now what does 5 indicate? Now that x indicates that Manisha is in the business for 5 months. If Manisha is there for 5 months, as the maximum time is 12 months, so out of 12, Manisha is there for 5. It means that Manisha joined after 12 minus 5, 7 months. Take your time, go through the content carefully. Fine with that. So, moving ahead. Now we have a question where A, B and C invest 10,000, 40,000 and 60,000 respectively in a business. Now at the end of the year they incur a loss which is 20% of the total initial investment. Now find the share of loss of B. This problem is all about finding the loss share. Now what is the first step? He gave us that investments are unequal. Now time is equal. So the investment ratio is 10 is to 40 is to 60. I mean 10,000 to 40,000 to 60,000. That would be 1 is to 4 is to 6. Now total investment is 1,10,000. Now the loss incurred is 20% of the total initial investment. So that is 20% of 1,10,000 would be 22,000. Isn't it? Now find the share of B. Now from the investment ratio, the loss of B is 4 parts. So it is 4 upon 11 times 22. So 11 2 is 22. The loss of B would be 8,000 rupees. So all these problems what we have been doing runs around two words: investment and time. Okay. So going ahead, we have a question where Amar, Akbar, Anthony is involved and they began a business with 20,000, 30,000, and 40,000, and a salary of 5% is paid to the managing partner. Okay, so if each of them has managed the business for equal number of times and the profit is found at the end of every year, now find the amount received by Akbar at the end of 6 years. The question is, find the amount received by Akbar at the end of 6 years, not 1 year. Now what is the first question? Whenever you have the word called as managing partner involved, the first step is to calculate the profits, the salary from the profit obtained. The first step is profit made every year is 1,80,000. From that 1,80,000 you need to pay the salary. The salary is given as 5%. So 5% of 1,80,000 would be 9,000. Now once you get the salary, the first step is deduce that salary from the profit. So 1,80,000 minus 9,000 would be 1,71,000. Now you need to divide this 1,71,000 among among Amar, Akbar, Anthony in the ratio of their investments. So the investment ratio is 2 is to 3 is to 4. So we got Akbar profit as 3 parts out of 9. Have we got 9? 2 parts for Amar, 3 parts for Akbar, 4 parts for Anthony. That is 2 plus 3 plus 4, it is 9. Out of 9 parts, Akbar gets 3 parts, that is 3 upon 9 into 1,71,000, that would be 57,000. If for 1 year, if it is 57,000, for 6 years it would be how much? 57,000 to 6, that would be 3,42,000. Now read the question carefully. The question says each of them has managed the business for equal number of times. Total years are 6. There are 3 people, so it means that everyone will manage it for 2 times. So definitely Akbar will manage the business for 2 years. So Akbar should get salary for 2 years. So in the first line we got salary made, right? If the salary is 9,000 per 1 year, then Akbar's salary for 2 years would be 9 into 2, that would be 18,000. So the share of Akbar at the end of 6 years would be Akbar profit plus Akbar salary. So that would be 3,42,000 plus 18,000, that is 3,60,000 rupees. So this is a problem, a little lengthy, but we still go around the same words: investments, time, profits. Investment, time, profit, nothing more than that. Yes or no? Now, moving ahead, we have a question like Raman and Vaman starting a business with rupees 50,000 and 20,000 respectively. At the end of 5 months, Raman withdrew 25,000 from the business, and after 3 more months, Vaman invested 30,000 more. Now find the profit or loss ratio at the end of the year. Now this problem is not the regular problem because the investments are not constant for the complete year. People are putting in more money after a few months, people are withdrawing some money after a few months. So how to solve this problem? So this problem goes like this. So it is clear that for the first 5 months the amount of Raman is 50,000, and then for the remaining 7 months it would be 25,000 because he is withdrawing 25,000, isn't it? Now for the first 8 months the amount of Vaman is 20,000. Stop here. Have we got 8 months? Now read second line carefully. At the end of 5 months, Raman withdrew from the business. Raman withdrew 25,000 from the business, and after 3 more months, already we are done with 5, and from that 5, 3 more is 8. So after 8 months, Vaman has done some changes. So it means that for the first 8 months, the amount of Vaman is 20,000, and for the remaining 4 months, it would be 50,000. Because he is investing 30,000 more. So sum up 50,000 into 5 plus 25 into 7 is the amount of Raman, and Vaman would be 20 into 8 plus 50 into 4. Summing up you get 4.25 lakh, 4,25,000, and Vaman would be 3,60,000 rupees. Now taking the ratio would be 85 is to 72. So this is one different model which is a little complicated because people are modifying their investments instead of time.
In the next question, we have A, B, C, and D starting a business. A invests one third of the capital, B invests one fourth of the capital, C invests one fifth of the capital, and D has put in the remaining amount. So the question is, find the share of C in the given profit at the end of the year. I mean, they make some profit at the end of the year, and that is 18,000, and you need to calculate the share of C at the end of the year. Now see the question carefully. The question is clear that A, B, C, and D have put in unequal investments for 1 year. So it is a case where we have unequal investments and equal time periods. So common sense says that we should divide the profits in proportionate to the amount invested. So as C has put in one fifth of the capital, so in the final profit C should get one fifth of the profit, isn't it? So the share of C would be one fifth of 18,000, and that would be 3600. Do not complicate things. So when you have unequal investments and equal time periods, profits should be shared in proportion to the investments. So keep that in mind. In the next question, we have A, B, C, and D starting a business with investment in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 5, and they received profits in the ratio of 4 is to 3 is to 2 is to 5. Now the question is, what is the ratio of time? So he gave us investment ratio, he gave us profit ratio, and he is asking us to calculate the ratio of time. Now how do you get it? We know that profit ratio is the product of investment and time. So common sense says time would be the ratio of profit to investment. Clear with that? Now keep that in mind. So he gave us the investment ratio, he gave us the profit ratio. Now how do you find the time ratio? Time ratio is the ratio of investment to profit. So it is 4 upon 2 is to 3 upon 2 is to 2 upon 4 is to 5 upon 5. So it is clear that you get 2 is to 1 is to half is to 1. So it is a ratio of fractions. Whenever you have ratio of fractions, take the LCM of denominators. So as you have only 2 in the denominator, multiply the ratios with 2, and the final answer would be 4 is to 2 is to 1 is to 2. Now read the question and the approach of solving the question. You observe that he gave us the ratio of investments, he gave us the ratio of profits. He is asking us the time ratio. So investments into time will be profit. From that you get time is profit upon investment. Do that and we get the answer. Is that fine? So let us go to the next question. Okay. In the next question, you have Amar Akbar Anthony starting a business, and the total investment is 7,20,000 rupees. Amar invested 60,000 more than Akbar. See, please, you need to be good at reading the question. So read the statements carefully. The statement says Amar invested 60,000 more than Akbar, and Akbar invested 30,000 less than Anthony. So if the total profit at the end of the year is given to us, he is asking us the amount received by Akbar at the end of the year. Now read the question carefully. You have Amar Akbar Anthony, and he gave us some relation about the investments of Amar to Akbar, Akbar to Anthony. So let us see how it is being solved. So let us assume that the amount put in by Akbar is P. From the first line, it is clear that from second line, Amar invested 60,000 more than Akbar. So Amar amount would be P plus 60,000. And line 2 says Akbar invested 30,000 less than Anthony. So as Akbar is P, Anthony would be P plus 30,000. So please see how I framed the equations, I mean the statement. So if Akbar is P, Amar is P plus 60k, 60,000 rupees, and Anthony is P plus 30,000 rupees. Now let us see what is happening. Now when you add all those things, you get P plus 60,000 plus P plus P plus 30,000. That would be 7.2 lakh. Clear with that? Now from that you get the value of P, and the value of P is found to be 2 lakh 10,000 rupees. Clear with that? Now please see what did I do. From the given data, I framed some equations, and from that I finally found the amount put in by Akbar. Right now it is clear that people have put in unequal investments in equal time periods. So as we have learned, when you have unequal investments and equal time periods, profits should be in proportion to the amounts invested, isn't it? So let us calculate the amount of Akbar. So Akbar has put in 2,10,000, so he should get some profit. So amount of Akbar would be 2,10,000 upon 7.2 lakh into the final profit, that is 86,400, and that would be his answer, 25,200. Now what did I do? I stick on to the same statement. Whenever you have unequal investments and equal time periods, you should share the profits in proportionate to the investments done. Clear with that? He gave us the total investment, and from which we calculated the amount of Akbar. We took a ratio multiplied by profit is the answer. So going ahead, we have a problem where Ravi began a business with rupees 8,500, and after 12 months Swati joined him. We do not know how much Swati has put in. So the question says, if the profit ratio at the end of 3 years, read the question carefully. Generally in partnership, we talk about only 1 year, but in this question, the profit ratio is given at the end of 3 years from the beginning of the business is 15 is to 12. Now, using common sense, who is there from the beginning? So, Ravi is there from the beginning till the end of 3 years. As Swati joined late by 1 year, so Swati is in the business for 2 years. Yes or no? Now, the question is, find the contribution of Swati in the investment. Now, profit ratio is again investment times time period. So, common sense says the investment would be profit upon time. Yes, let us stick to the same story. Now, Ravi is to Swati is 15 by 3 is to 12 by 2. Now, have you got 15 by 3? Have you got 12 by 2? He gave us profit ratio as 15 is to 12, from which 15 indicates the amount of Ravi, and Ravi is there for 3 long years. Sorry. Yeah, Ravi is there for 3 long years. So 15 by 3 indicates the investment of Ravi, and 12 is the profit of Swati, and Swati is there for 2 long years. So 15 by 3 is to 12 by 2, that would be 5 is to 6. Now, as you say, so Ravi's investment would be 5 parts. So given 5 parts is 8,500, so one part would be 1,700. So if one part is 1,700, Swati's investment would be 6 parts. So 6 into x, that is 6 times 1,700, that would be 10,200. In the next problem, Raman began a business. Vaman joins him after 6 months with an investment of 45,000. And after 2 more months, Cherry joined them with an investment of 45,000. Now, if the final annual profit is rupees 1 lakh and the final share of Raman is rupees 49,000, find the approximate investment made by Raman. Now, read the question carefully. In the question, we do not know how much did Raman invest, but we know the investment of Vaman and Cherry. So the first statement would be the ratio of investment, that is X is to 45,000 is to 45,000. And second step would be the ratio of time periods. Now read the question carefully. From the beginning till the end you have Raman. So Raman is there for 12 months. So when did Vaman join? Vaman joined him after 6 months. So the time spent by Vaman is 6 months only. 12 minus 66. Now after Vaman joined, then Cherry joined after 2 more months. So 6 plus 2. So 8 months have finished. After 8 months, Cherry has joined up. So the time spent by Cherry in the business is 12 minus 8 is 4. So the ratio is 12 is to 6 is to 4. And finally we get the profit ratio, that is 12x is to 45,000 to 6 is to 45,000 is to 4. And from that, let us calculate the ratio of Raman to Vaman and Cherry. So Raman is 12x, Vaman plus Cherry is some 4 lakhs 50,000 rupees. You can simply add them out, you'll get the answer, nothing to worry about that. Now I am taking only two terms because I know the ratio of share of Raman at the end. So from that, so given profit share of Raman is 49,000. So common sense says, so profit share of Vaman and Cherry would be 1 lakh minus 49,000, that would be 51,000. Now comparing it. So we got the profit ratio as 12x is to 4.5 lakh, and profit share of Raman is 49,000 and profit share of Vaman and Cherry is 51,000. So comparing them both, you get the value of X. The value of X is approximately 36,000 rupees. Moving ahead. So read the question. In a partnership, P and Q invest 8,000, 14,000. After 6 months, R replaces Q with an investment which is half of Q. If the profit share of R at the end of the year is rupees 2,450 rupees, find the total profit obtained. So read the statement. Now let us see how it is being solved. So the first step says the ratio of investment is P is to Q is to R. That is 8,000 is to 14,000 is to 7,000. How you got 7,000? Line 2 says the investment of R is half of the investment of Q. So that is 7,000. So it is 8 is to 14 is to 7. Now the time ratio, 12 is to 6 is to 6 because 6 months Q left and R joined. So time spent by Q is 6, time spent by R is also 6. So it is 12 is to 6 is to 6. That is 2 is to 1 is to 1. Now we combine them, we multiply them to get the final product profit ratio. That is 16 is to 14 is to 7. Now given the profit share of our 7 parts is 2450. What is one part? One part is 350. So if one part is 350, find the total profit now. That is 16 plus 4 plus 7. That is 37 parts. So 37x. So 37 into 350 would be the final answer. It is 12,950 rupees. So see the question and see how it is being solved step by step. Am I clear to you all? Okay. Now going forward. In a partnership, A and B invest 72,000, 60,000 respectively, and after 4 months, C replaces B with X% of B's investment. In the previous problem, it is clear that R will replace Q with investment half of Q. But in this question, he says C will replace B with X% of B investment. So if the total profit is 48,000 and profit share of C is given, find the value of X. Clear? Now see the question, read it one more time. So what is the first step? The first step says we take the ratio of investment, that is 72,000 is to 60,000 is to K. We do not know the investment of C, take it as K. Fine with that? Now time period of ABC is 12 is to 4 is to 8. Why 4 and 8? After 4 months B left and C joined after B left. So what is time of C is 8. So 12, 4, 8 is 3 is to 1 is to. Profit ratio is obtained by multiplying investments and time periods and you get a final ratio. Now see what is happening. He gave us that the profit share of C is 2K. 2K is given as 11,200. From that the value of K can be obtained. But again I go with the same old one where I compare C and A plus B to the things given to us. The share of C is 2K and the value of A plus B, you simply multiply them, you'll get some value. And so comparing it, so 2K by 2,76,000 is to 11,200 upon 36,800 and the value of K is 42,000. The question is, you got the value of K, that is the investment of C. When investment of C is obtained, now the question is, what percent of B is C? Isn't it? So K is X% of B, that is X by 100 times 60,000 is 42,000. So the value of X would be 70%. So this is how we solve the problem. Is it fine? So in this question, in a partnership, Sonu invested 10% more than Mona. Mona invested 10% less than Raghu. The total investment is 5,780 rupees. Find the investment of Raghu. So we do not know how much Raghu has put because percentages are involved. Choose the value of Raghu as 100. Assumption only. So if Raghu is 100, what would be Sonu? What would be Mona? So Mona invests 10 percentage less than Raghu. So Mona would be 90. If Mona is 90, Sonu will invest 10% more than Mona. So 10% of 90 is 9. So 90 plus 9 is 99. So the investment ratio would be 99 is to 90 is to 100. I again repeat, if Raghu is 100, line 2 says Mona is 10 percentage less than Raghu. So Mona will be 90. Line 1 says Sonu will invest 10 percentage more than Mona. So that is 99. Clear with that? Now The total investment is given to us, that is 5780. So add them and find the value of x. The value of x would be 20. Clear? When the value of x is 20, find the value of Raghu. Raghu would be 100x. So 120. That's the answer. It is quite simple. Because percentages are given in partnership, don't be confused. It is quite simple to work upon. Is that fine? So now in this problem, we have Raman and Vaman starting a business with 20,000 and 28,000. At the end of 8 months, Raman added 6,000 and Vaman added 4,000. Sharon joined them by investing rupees 42,000 in the business. Now find the profit of Raman if the total profit is given to us. Fine. Now see the question. So for the first 8 months, Raman share is 20,000 and after 8 months he has put in 6,000. For the remaining 4 months it is 20,000 plus 6,000. So multiplying and adding you get a value called as 2,64,000. Coming to Vaman. Vaman is also investing 4,000 more after 8 months. So for the first 8 months there is no change of his value. So 28,000 into 8 plus 20,000 plus 4,000 into 4. So that would be 3,52,000. So after 8 months you find Sharon joining them. So the Sharon value will be 42,000 into 4, that is 1,68,000. Now we take the ratio given total investment and then we take the ratio and solve it. So using common sense, profits should be given in proportion to the investments made. So the question is find the profit of Raman. So Raman would be 2,64,000 compared to 7,84,000 into the final profit. That's the answer, and the answer is 52,800 rupees. Is it fine? So whenever investments are not equal and time is equal, profits will be in proportion to the investments. Fine with that? Yes. Now we have Ravi, Swati and Srikriti investing capitals for equal time. Equal time. Ravi gets 3/8 of the total profit and the remaining is shared equally between Swati and Srikriti. So when profit percentage increases from 5% to 11%, then the profit of Ravi also increases. Yes. Now the question is find the investment of Swati. Let us take the ratio of the investment is 3/8 is to 5/16 is to 5/16. Now the question is how you got 5/16. So total is 8 parts. Out of 8 parts, Ravi gets 3 parts. Isn't it? So 3/8 is Ravi. If 3/8 is Ravi, how much remains? 5/8 remains. If 5/8 remains, what is half of 5/8? 5/16, right? So half is given to Swati, half to Srikriti. So 3/8 to Ravi, 5/16 to Swati, 5/16 to Srikriti. So that's how you get 3/8 is to 5/16 is to 5/16. When you have ratio of fractions, we take the LCM of denominators, that is 8, 16, 600 16. We multiply it and finally we get an integer ratio, that is 6 is to 5 is to 5. So we got the final ratio of investments. Now what is given to us? So given percentage increase. So if it is increasing from 5 to 11, so common sense says there is an increase of 6%. So 6% on Ravi investment is given as 9,000 rupees. So if 6% of the investment is 9,000, what is the investment now? So the value of X is 25,000 rupees. Clear with that? So if the profit is known to us, then Swati's investment would be 5 times X. So 5X. So 5 into 25 is 1,25,000. Now see the question and see the procedure of being solved. We began with the ratio of fractions. We converted them into integer ratio, and from the given problem, because there is some increase in percentage which resulted in increase of profit, and from there we found the value of X, the common term. Once the common term is found out, we calculated the share of Swati, that is 5 parts. So 5 into 25,000 is 1,25,000. Fine. So that's how we solve the problems of partnership. Put your thoughts in the comment box and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. That's for now. Thank you.